In this lesson, we're taking a look at Rolling in the Deep by Adele. This is a really good example of power chords being used in a pop song rather than always limited to just rock music, and it's also a good example of them being used on an acoustic guitar in the original recording. Now I'm going to be teaching it on electric, but obviously you can practice and jam along using whatever type of guitar you've got, but it is quite a good one for exploring power chords if you are on acoustic. This lesson is part of my power chord series, which you can access via the link in the description. You'll find more power chord based lessons there. So for that reason, I'm going to explain how you can play the whole song using power chords, so those in the early stages can jam along to the whole thing. But you might have noticed I was also using bar chords in the demo, so I'm also going to explain those for players who are maybe a little bit further along, and that leaves it open for players of any level to jam along to the original track and add extra detail if they want to. I'll probably end up doing a bar chord playlist at some point, so it'll probably become part of that as well, but for now let's dive in and see how it's played. So for the intro to the song, we're going to be starting with a C power chord rooted on the 8th fret of the low E string. All the chords in this one are rooted on the bottom string, which just helps give the chords a chunkier sound. And we're going to have a heavy palm mute and start with just 2 bars of downstrummed 8th notes. So just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. After this, the first verse comes in, you'll hear Adele start singing. That's when we start our main verse progression. And we're going to start the progression on 1 bar of the C. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're then going to move down to a G power chord, so 3rd fret, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Up to a B flat power chord, which is the 6th fret, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have half bars of G and B flat at the end. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for the full progression, it's C to G to B flat to G to B flat, then starting again from C on the next repeat. So that's the basic progression, but there's one slight change to the rhythm. Makes it kind of awkward to play, but it does make it a little bit more interesting and kind of add a bit of extra groove, which is that each chord is played for 1 extra strum, meaning it changes on the and of 1 of the bar rather than just on beat 1. So for example, if I'm moving between the C and the G, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because we've got half bars on the G and the B flat at the end, it's going to be on the and of 1 and the and of 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The counting the numbers and the ands is making it more complicated than it seems when you're actually playing it. Just remember to do an extra strum on each chord, although I think when you start again from the C it does go back to just beat 1, and that means it just sounds a little bit more stable and definitive when the pattern repeats again. After repeating the verse progression a few times, we move into the pre-chorus. And you can hear when we've moved into the pre-chorus because the song just picks up a little bit. There's some piano added as well as some extra percussion, and you should also hear a bit of a change of harmony. So if we stick to just the power chords for this bit now, we're starting on an A flat, so a 4th fret root, and we're just going to keep the downstrummed 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, up to a bar of B flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, 1 bar of G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then back to the A flat and 3 and 4 and. So the first 4 chord progression is A flat, B flat, G and A flat, and then we're starting from A flat again, so you've got to make sure that you do A flat on bars 4 and 5 and don't skip one of them. Okay, so we've got so far A flat to B flat to G, then A flat, then we're starting again here from A flat, up to the B flat, then we're going to do 2 bars of G, 3, 4, build it up, 2, 3, 4, and that leads us into the chorus. So I'm just gradually reducing the amount of palm mute that I've got on that final G chord, and that helps it create a crescendo, just building up to that chorus. So if we add in a layer of bar chords into this pre-chorus as well, you can mimic the piano quite well just by doing one big strum on each chord at the start of each bar. So we'd be starting with an A flat major, up to a B flat major, down to a G minor, then the A flat major again. It's the first half of the progression, then we're starting once more from A flat major to B flat. And then at the end, remember we've got these 2 bars of G, the first one's going to be minor, and then at the end, for an extra bit of drama and tension, we're going to add the second finger for major. So you're going from minor to major on the G, which is quite a common harmonic minor trick to create a perfect cadence to move back to the chorus. That's very theory-ish for some of the theory people. You don't have to know all of that, but just if you are throwing the bar chords in, it sounds pretty good to change it from minor to major at the end. So if I play that through for you, we've got A flat, B flat, G minor, A flat, next progression, A flat, B flat, then G minor, then G major. And you can hear how that leads nicely into the first chord of the chorus. Now another thing you might want to experiment with, which is what I was doing in the demo at the start, is mixing both of these parts together. So I was kind of doing one big strum of the full bar chord and then just doing small little down strums on just the power chord part at the bottom. So it sounds like this. Still been building up that G, getting ready for the chorus. That's a good way of just mimicking the guitar and the piano part together, especially if you're the only guitar player in a band or you're just kind of playing and singing it on your own. That's a good way to add an extra bit of interest. Into the big chorus section now, so we're going to get rid of the palm mutant and just do big full strums. And if we stick in power chord world to start with, we're going to have a C power chord rooted on that 8th fret, all just downstrummed 8th notes. So just 1 bar of C, 1 bar of B flat, then we've got a bar of A flat, and then the final bar of the progression is half A flat, half B flat, so... And then you're just climbing back up to the C for the repeat. So if we put all of that together, we've got C, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 2, 3, 4, A flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, B flat, then C again, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 2, 3, 4, A flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, B flat. So at the end, you should feel that A flat moving through the B flat on the climb on the way back up to the C chord. Bar chord wise, we've got exactly the same progression, but we're going to make our C power chord into a C minor, and the B flat and A flat are both major. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, C minor, B flat major, A flat major, then A flat, B flat, then again C minor, B flat, A flat, A flat, B flat, then the next verse, back to those tight palm muted power chords, and you want to make the chorus sound really big and the verse sound really small, so it really highlights the change in dynamics of the sections. So just a quick word on the structure now, because all the parts we've learned have been in order so far. So we've done the intro, verse, pre-chorus and chorus. Now we start repeating sections, so we're going back for another verse, pre-chorus and chorus. So what comes next is the bridge after the second chorus, so that's what we're going to look at now. So instead of going back to the verse, we're going to keep the big strums in the same style as the chorus. I'm just going to refer to the chords with the root notes, but if you're in bar chord land, make sure you keep the majors and minors in the same place. So A flat and B flat major, C minor. Whereas if you're in power chords, they're all just using that same power chord shape. So we're going to have a bar of A flat, a bar of B flat, a bar of C, a bar of B flat, and And then at the end of the bridge, we have 2 bars of A flat followed by 2 bars of B flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to mute the whole guitar for the breakdown section. So I'll do a quick demo of the whole bridge. I'll use bar chords for this one, but remember you can use power chords as well. And this is coming out of the second chorus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. A flat, B flat, C, B flat, A flat, 2 bars, then B flat for 2 bars, then rest the palm on the strings to keep the guitar quiet. Following the bridge, we have what I'm going to call a breakdown section where the song's broken down to mainly just drums and vocals. So you want to keep your guitar quiet for that, because the whole point of that section is kind of that the harmony's taken out so you can then throw it back in and build the song back up. And at that point there is a bit of a build-up section before the final chorus, and it's the same progression as the chorus. It's mainly piano and backing vocals in the original recording, with Adele kind of ad-libbing a little bit over the top, but you can throw some of this in on guitar as well. It sounds quite good to just do 1 strum on each chord of the chorus progression, regardless of whether you're doing bar chords or power chords. So remember, for the chorus we had either the C power chord or the C minor for the first bar, followed by the B flat, then the A flat, and then the last bar was half A flat, half B flat. So I do just a power chord version, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or a bar chord version, C minor, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 2, 3, 4, A flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the repeat, same thing again. So the C first, B flat, but then start building up the A flats and B flats. A little bit of palm muting. Gradually reduce the palm muting like we did in the pre-chorus to build up to that final chorus. It's quite hard to explain that sort of stuff, much easier to just hear it in the track, but those are the right chords and some ideas on how you can play with the dynamics as well to make it all work. And then the only part of the song that's left is the final chorus, which is a double chorus. So you're back to your big strums, whether you're doing bar chords or power chords. So it's going to be 4 times around the progression in full, because each chord is 2 and it's a double chorus. And after you've done that, you just finishing on either the C power chord or the C bar chord, and that'll give you the entire structure for the entire song. So do try and play through the whole thing and try and get all the parts synced up. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this tune. As I mentioned in the intro, it is quite versatile. You can play it on acoustic or electric using either power chords or mixing in bar chords as well. There's only a small number of chords in this one, but the challenge is getting them all in the right order in the different sections. So do play along with the original track and try and sync up with the entire structure. Be sure to subscribe for more lessons, and I'd really appreciate you giving the video a like if you found it helpful. Remember that you can access more power chord based lessons via the link in the description, so hopefully I'll see you for another one soon.